Imagine reaching the end of your working years and finding a massive, guaranteed financial safety net waiting for you. That is the promise behind the National Party's pitch to voters. If re-elected, they plan to make KiwiSaver compulsory for all workers. The math is straightforward. By 2032, you would be required to contribute a combined 12% of your pay into a locked retirement account, split evenly with a 6% weight from you and 6% from your employer. They've added a few sweeteners to the deal, like a $1,500 kickstart for every newborn, and requiring employers to keep contributing for workers over 65 and parents on paid leave. While the policy aims for long-term stability, financial analysts warn that for many workers, this 12% mandate functions as an immediate pay cut. Right now, New Zealand has nearly 3.5 million KiwiSaver members. But at last count, 30% of them were not contributing a single cent. These aren't people deciding they don't want to save. They are dealing with an affordability crisis. If you have high-interest personal debt or are struggling to cover rent, losing 10 to 12% of your cash every week is mathematically impossible. The problem worsens with employment contracts. Many New Zealanders are on total remuneration packages, meaning the employer's contribution comes out of the base salary. Under a compulsory 12% mandate, up to an extra 5% of take-home pay instantly vanishes into a locked account. For the bottom 60% of earners, this policy forces an impossible choice. It demands they prioritize a locked savings account over buying this week's groceries. To understand how we got here, we need to look at the government's recent track record on retirement funding. This chart shows the maximum annual Crown contribution to KiwiSaver. Notice the steep drop. The government recently halved its own co-contribution, cutting it from 50 cents per dollar down to 25 cents. 6 months after quietly withdrawing their financial support, they are now proposing a mandate that forces you and your employer to make up the difference. By mandating higher citizen contributions while simultaneously pulling back its own funding, the government effectively transfers the financial burden of retirement onto the paychecks of the working class. Universal economic policies often look fair on paper. In practice, they frequently create the most friction for Māori whānau, who already face structural wealth and income gaps. These timelines show life expectancy. The timeline for Maori men is 7 years shorter. If the retirement age rises, a Maori worker paying 12% for decades has fewer years to access the system. They pay in more, but get out less. Beyond life expectancy, there is a direct clash of cultural values. The Western model of wealth relies on locking money away for individual use in the future. But Tikanga Māori centers on monakitanga, the obligation to support your whānau, the marae, and the community today. A policy demanding deferred wealth penalizes a culture built on immediate collective support, effectively requiring whānau to suspend their traditions until they retire. None of this means the broader goal is wrong. Building national savings and ensuring financial resilience are crucial steps for New Zealand's economic future. The fatal flaw is the execution. Applying a rigid, one-size-fits-all compulsion mandate onto a highly unequal economy does damage to the people already struggling to stay afloat. Economists have proposed a much safer alternative. They suggest unlinking the dual mandate entirely to protect the worker. This diagram outlines how that works. You make the employer contributions compulsory across the board. But you keep the employee contributions strictly voluntary. By protecting the worker's portion, you still guarantee a steady, nationwide expansion of retirement wealth, but you do it without instantly crushing the take-home pay of low-income whānau. Securing our future is vital, but true financial freedom shouldn't require working families to sacrifice their ability to put food on the table or practice their culture today.